as far as my training goes, I'm not a graduate of a course like a NIDA or VCA, but I attended what was then called Curtin University, the Theatre Arts course, in the early 80s. And so a lot of the training was very hands-on. It included not just voice work and text work, but also learning how to stage manage, learning how to light sets, build sets. And every Christmas, the head tutor of the course would write a pantomime based on, this is all in Perth in WA, so every year he would write a pantomime based around that year's events in Perth. And it would sell out. We'd do 2 shows a day for about 4 weeks, and that was some of the best training I ever had, either acting in a pantomime or I stage managed a couple as well. And the sense of, I think it was probably doing those shows, it gave me that sense of teamwork, camaraderie, that sense of really, when you belong together because you've done something together and put yourselves through a little bit of adversity together to achieve a goal, I think that's a little bit addictive. And I think that's what people love about theatre too. And the other thing I love about theatre that I learnt there is it is a little bit magic. I know that sounds pretentious, but a bunch of people, the audience, the cast, the crew, everybody gets inside the black box and you shut the doors and windows and you make the real world go away for a bit, and together you all pretend something. And I think that is a bit magic. I grew up in Perth, mostly in the Claremont-Swanbourne area, up the hill from the Claremont footy ground. So the Claremont Tigers were my team growing up, and the way to see them was to run into the MTT bus depot and then duck through the hole in the fence between the bus depot and the footy ground. And up until the hole was only so big, so there was a certain cut-off point beyond which it was a bit ridiculous to try and squeeze through that hole. And I moved to Melbourne in '87. So I came over here as a double act, a comedy double act called The Empty Pockets. And that was the first year that the West Coast Eagles played in the AFL. And so the choice was whether to follow St Kilda, because we were living in St Kilda and loving our St Kilda life, or whether to stick with our roots and go with the West Coast Eagles. And well, there wasn't really much of a choice, but me and my mate Matt Parkinson, we both decided we were going to follow the Eagles because it seemed to us the Saints already had enough supporters, and frankly we thought they had a pretty good chance of winning a flag within the first 10 years, and as it turned out we were right. I'm approaching the role of Norm Smith because I think the reason that medal is named after him, that the best performer in the biggest game of the year, it's named after him because he really took football to another level, as far as I can tell from the research I've done on him. He was the first coach who said to his team, this is going to be more than just a bunch of us getting together and enjoying footy each week. This is going to be us seeing what else we can do with footy. I guess what I'm saying is he treated football a bit like an art form, and I think that's why he's regarded as the beginning of the modern coaching era, because he was the first one who said, okay, coaching's not just about stopping the blokes hitting each other and making sure they don't drink too much during the week. Coaching should be about really thinking about footy. I think well, as the man who's going to be playing Norm Smith, I've got to say, I object to the term curse of Norm Smith. Do I think I can bring back the spirit of Norm Smith to the Melbourne Football Club? If I had to do that, if I had a chance to talk to the Melbourne mob and get them to a flag within the next, say, season or so, well, from where they are now, it would have to be a miracle. But footy's a game that has room for miracles in it. So I think I would say to the boys at Melbourne Football Club, I'd say, listen, Melbourne Football Club is Australian rules football. This is where Australian rules football began. This is where it lives and breathes. You, boys, are Australian rules football. Now go out there and bring me back the flag.